Yes, sir. It's your boy Professor Pippett's back in this bitch on our trader Asian trying to get active, trying to get live. It has been a minute since your boy's been on the it has been a minute since I made a video. I've been on the charts just yesterday, but it's been a minute since I made a video, and a lot of that is because I've been getting my ass cooked. The market is not playing nice. Some trade ideas and setup I had, they worked. I just kind of lost psychology and lost faith in them and kind of got out early. Some of them, some of them smack full stop loss. And it's been a bad, bad, bad. It's been down bad. But, account still intact. It just ain't been a whole bunch of winning trades. Towards the end of this week, I did manage to, come up on something real smooth like on AU, just taking those continuation shorts. But for the most part, oh my gosh, it has been rough out here in these streets. And anybody that gets on here and tell you otherwise is fucking lying. But, for the most part, since the last video, we were talking about how AU was getting ready to go big bullish. But as we can see, that shit didn't happen. Price action still going bearish. I think the last video we made, price action was way up here. We was looking for to see how far price action was going to pull back before it found that support and then got back up out of there to the top side. Yeah, it's been a struggle for old Petty. So what I kind of did and what I've been doing is just kind of zooming out and seeing what the is really going on, because just tracking price action on AU generally is not that difficult to catch up to it. And then once you catch up to it, you know what I'm saying, shoot the jumper. But jumper been bricks lately. So what I kind of did was just looking at, how price action came down here, then pushed up and broke structure, looked left, we pulled back and went higher. So I was like, okay, well shit. If this wasn't the move, the shipping structure that was going to take us to where we was trying to go back up to the top, creating new swing highs, what could price action be coming down to, as we look to the left? And, I don't necessarily see a whole bunch that stands out right over here. So because of how choppy and how jammed up this price action is, what I usually do is hop out to the weekly. Weekly usually has a little bit of less candles. Usually can find a little bit better information. But when you look at this shit, you got wicks and more wicks, and it's like, okay, well, I don't see too much anything over there either. So look left again. Say, okay, well, I see a little imbalance field need to be filled right there. That got hit right here. So theoretically, unless price action is currently seeking to come back down and grab something right over here, I still want to pay attention to this area right over here first before. Okay, before, coming all the way back down here and trying to dissect this price action back in over here on the lower time frame. So, yeah, we'll do it. I just highlight this little area right here so we know what we're looking at when we bump down to that daily time frame. We'll say, okay, well, shit, what already took place? What already happened? Um, like I said, we were bearish back in over here, big bearish, making lower lows and lower highs. It wasn't until this point where price action pulled back, tapping into previous supply, and then we tried to roll over, failed to create a new low. So at that point, I feel like demand has been created. Once we tapped into supply right over here, we pulled back, failed to create new lows right down here. This area right here is where I feel like my new demand is created, simply because price action reacted from supply right over here, but it did not give us a good enough reaction to where it broke structure and continued to go bearish. So, and the second confluence for me was the new high that price action created right up in here, and it broke structure as we pushed into the highs right back in over here. So, um, just kind of build psychology in on AU as far as what if we think we going and how we think we're gonna get there. So on the daily time frame, this will be my demand zone. And another reason or another thing that kind of helps me know that potentially that this is demand zone, as you see price action starts to create higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame. We pull back here. We didn't quite reach into that demand zone. Even though we did continue to go bullish, we didn't quite reach into the demand zone right up in here. So for me, this is liquidity being built. And then as you continue to as price action starts to come back to that zone, we did make lower lows and lower highs coming back towards that zone, but then it just all of a sudden rolled over and went back bullish. So for my psychology, what that kind of tells me is that we started to build even more liquidity within that area before really tapping into that demand zone. And then as price action, starts its final phase of lower lows and lower highs, we actually did tap into the demand zone that we, kind of identify from the daily time frame, which actually caused a breakthrough structure. So once we had this type of price action here with this high right over here being created, breaking structure looking left, I was like, yeah, we getting ready to go bullish because we did trade through all this price action right here, and it was quite frustrating. We had order blocks identified looking left as to why price action was leaking to the downside. Every time we came back up in that area, but just like it is now, it was very unclear. It wasn't the funnest price action to be trading. We made a few profits here and there, but same times that we kind of announced like what the fuck is really going on. So as price action tapped into the little demand zone right down here, shipping structure, breaking structure right over here. But the confusing part for me really came back in after this low was broken because last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was looking for price action to come down, tap into what would have been a new demand zone for me right over here because we tapped into this bigger one here on the daily time frame, and I was looking for a price action to get up out of there. One thing that uh, I have started to kind of pay attention to or started to notice or have been noticed, but if this new area right here was the new demand zone, once price action came down and tapped into that area, we should have come up and started breaking structure, just like we seen tap into this, breaking structure looking left. This little price action here did not break structure right over here looking left. So that should have been my first clue to tell me, hey, this ain't it. Price action ain't really scoop back big bullish because we ain't breaking no damn structure, especially on the daily time frame. On the 4 hour, hourly, 15 minute, yeah, you probably broke a little bit of structure right up in here, but that would be intraday moves, high time frame moves, swing level type moves. Nothing really happened in a bullish manner, so we should have been continuing to look for the shorts. Don't really know why, besides price action just want to come back in and retest this demand zone. The only thing that I have found is this little bit of an imbalance right over here. We'll zoom in on that thing. Imbalance within the demand zone right over here. A little bit of imbalance within the demand zone. Daily. And when we zoom that thing back out, what we see is price action from last Friday came and tapped right into that little area right over there. Make it a little bit tighter so we can bring it into focus right over here. Bam, Friday, tapped into it, gap up to the top side. Now, we did close with an inside bar on the daily candle, which is not really a good indication of where price action really wants to go. And it closed as a weak doji bullish candle, also indicating where price, not indicating where price really wants to go. So we got a little bit to start to pay. We got a little bit to definitely pay attention to once the market opens tomorrow, soon, because we ain't got no for sure intel on where price really wants to go. So excuse me. As we continue to look at this chart, continue to break it down, we just kind of start to identify levels and say, okay, well, shit. If we're gonna go bullish, what's the things I want to see? So daily time frame, price action, big bearish. Last lower high, create a new lower low, breaking structure here, is right up here. So that would be the first thing that I would identify. 4 hour, 4 hourly, lower high right over here. And because we haven't had any I don't think we had any break structure just on the 4 hour, but from the daily time frame before we go down to the 4 hour, imbalance met, tapped into it, reacted, closed bullish, but not a lot of confluence in that candle there. Go down to the 4 hour time frame. We have not had any breaks of structure on the hourly time frame. As I know we're on the 4 hour chart, but this is hourly structure right up in here. We do have that 4 hour resistance identified right up here. So I know for sure when I come back to the charts, if and when price action closed above this line right up in her, that I should be good and golden to start looking for definitely bullish setups. But until we get to that point, we got to stay with the trend. That's on the higher time frame, which is currently bearish. So 4 hour resistance way up there. So with this price action here, we got the low, high to the low. breaking structure looking left, lower high, lower low, breaking structure looking left, lower high, lower low, breaking structure looking left, lower high, no new lower low. So confluence that has built up so far is, yeah, we were big bearish, came back down into imbalance, looking left, within the demand zone right over here. Let me fix this real quick. I won't confuse nobody. Demand zone. All right. So touch the imbalance, came down, have not continued bear structure just yet. So for me, that hourly range that we're trading within is right up in her. Got the hourly resistance, got the hourly support right up in her. All right. So then we don't necessarily have that 4 hour support created just yet. It won't be until, for me, that price action closes above this 1 hour resistance, then pulls back and then tries to continue to go higher, that this would then turn into that 4 hour resistance. So then your 4 hour range will be from this high to this low. That hasn't happened just yet. So still waiting on that 4 hour support to be created. But right now we do have hourly support and resistance created. So we can bump down to that hourly time frame. And then just try to look at the structure and see where we think price action is going to go. The biggest thing is to once the market opens tomorrow, definitely sit back and wait, because if you're looking for buys, we ain't got enough evidence just yet. If you're looking for short, price action has just been leaking for the last however many weeks, however many days, however many time frames, and you just have to wait until price action pulls back into a supply area, potentially take those continuation short. So as we bump down on buddy to that hourly time frame, got that hourly high right up in her. Yeah, fix that on in, got the hourly low right down her. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at this 15-minute, we're looking for 15-minute structure. We say, okay, well, this is the high. This was the previous low. So high, we didn't break until we came all the way down here. So no real pullback there to kind of identify any structures right up in here. So ultimately, this is all one push. In my eyes, we got a pullback, high, low, lower high that didn't create any low, but we are still continuing to go bearish right up in here. So high, low, lower high, broken structure right here, lower low, lower high, lower low. So for me, and then you get this pullback on Friday that actually did break this high. So for me, this little 15-minute range that we're currently stuck in within the hourly range, within the 4 hourly range, right now, the 15-minute is kind of trying to roll over bullish. So what I do is I identify that 15-minute level range. And the only time I really identify 15-minute level ranges is when I'm trying to get in and when I'm trying to get active. But from weekend analysis purposes, standpoints and point of view, I'll draw it in now so that I can see, okay, well, if I think we're going to go bullish, first thing I need to do is see this 15-minute resistance be broken to the top side. Then, and only then, can I potentially start to formulate potential buy setups to come back into this 1 hour resistance. Whether price action going to break this 1 hour resistance or not, I got a pretty good range from, the break of this high all the way back up into this 1 hour resistance. That's 56 pips. I can be in and out the market, do my thing, and be done for the week if I catch that 56, 55 pip move back into that 1 hour resistance, whether it breaks the high or not. What the move this depends on, not the week, so you know what that is. Clear it up a little bit more, draw in that New York or Monday London open. I made a video in so long. It's been a little minute since we've been on this thing. Let me see. All right, so get everything squared away and lined all the way out to perfecciones. Yeah. So coming in to the week next week, confluence we starting to build as far as trying to look for buys. We were big bullish. We flipped to bearish. We came down and tapped into a daily demand zone here. We also feel the imbalance on the daily time frame. All as far as intraday structure for our 1 hour time frames, we came down. We're making lower lows and lower highs. We're stuck within this 1 hour range. Once we tapped that imbalance, we did not continue that lower low, lower high sequence on the 4 hour, 1 hour time frame. And right now, we kind of stuck within this 15-minute range, trying to determine whether if we're going to go back bullish. Once the market opens tomorrow, we want to see price action close above and then give us a great sequence of higher highs and higher lows back into this 1 hour resistance. At the point to where we break this 1 hour resistance, I probably would expect a deep ass retracement. Um, the thing that will give me the confidence to be like, yes, we probably gonna shoot back up out of there is if this low right here stays intact. If this price action does come back down and break this low, then we back to the drawing board. We back reanalyzing, um, back trying to see uh are there any confluences to look for buyers, or should we continue to look for the shorts? At this point, yeah, all buys would be off the table, and then we would be back resuming that lower low, lower high, lower low format as far as the hourly and the 4 hour is concerned. So if we're gonna go bullish, this is what I want to see. Come back, respect this low, and then get back. Oh, wrong button. Get back up out of there, breaking highs right over here. And that's what we pretty much at for AU. If we're gonna go bearish, we want to see price action open, break through this 15-minute support area, break through this 1 hour support, come back and retest, and then potentially take shorts, continuation shorts from the break of this 1 hour support, and even break below this daily demand zone. What could we possibly be targeting? Targeting the first TP from this area would definitely be the bottom of this demand zone. If we continue through there, then we got this higher time frame swing level low right over here that definitely we could be price action could be seeking to come and take out within the market. So try to clean some of this up, some of the bulls out the way. Reset that thing. And that's just pretty much how we looking at AU right now. Outside of that, I do not have any guarantees, just because, like I said, I was expecting AU to go bullish from back up here. When you look at it from the 4 hour time frame, from the 1 hour time frame, this was the thing I was saying that should have alerted me to that price action was not ready to go back bullish. Like I said, we didn't break structure here. We did not break structure here. Once we tapped into the demand zone right over here that caused this big impulse to the highs, didn't break here, came down, actually gave you a new lower low. Once I saw this price action here break that high right over here, I was like, okay, well, maybe we are. And continuation to the downside. That's one of the key things I think we should be paying attention to as traders, is to see if we ain't breaking structure to the top side on the higher time frames, then we probably ain't going bullish. If we breaking structure to the downside on the higher time frame, 4 hourly time frame, breaking structure to the downside, we look and we see the results at what happens once these key things take place within the market. So those are small things that I pay attention to as price action continues to build, as it continues to produce. That lets me know, okay, price action ready to go bearish, price action ready to go bullish. And that's AU. Clicking over to UJ. Why does bullshit pop up every time right here? I need to figure out how to take that shit off. But clicking over to UJ was one where a couple weeks ago, or the last video, go ahead and blink that thing. We were saying that price action, or I was saying that price action tapped into little imbalance field looking left. The reaction from that imbalance field caused a break of structure on the higher time frame. So we definitely should have been going bearish. That didn't happen. Push over to that daily. What we saw was from that break of structure looking left, price action came back and immediately rebroke through the supply area that pushes down and caused a break of structure on the higher time frame. So right now we're identifying on the daily as big bullish from this low up into this high. Ultimately, this resistance for the daily time frame hasn't really been created just yet in my eyes, simply because we haven't broken any structure on the lower time frame. So when we bring the analysis back, what we got here is the daily low that has pushed up and broken structure. Looking left on the daily time frame. Open that thing up so we can see. Bring this down. So daily time frame low to the high, 4 hourly support created right down here, pushing up, breaking structure, looking left. Once we hit to that 4 hourly time frame, what I'm looking for now, we kind of did break through support on that 4 hourly time frame right over here. So ultimately, the 4 hourly range is now from this low all the way up into this high. So we got a 504 pip range on the 4 hourly time frame. Generally, when I see price action break structure on a 1 hour time frame, we generally get retracements all the way back down. Is when I generally expect price action to give that retracement all the way back down to demand area within the market from where price action just came from to potentially then start to kind of roll over as far as like a swing setup model. Um, Within the market, price action continue its trend from the higher time frame. So ultimately, that's what we're looking for UJ. But as things start to develop, as price action continues to go, continues to produce, the things that I start to key into to say, okay, well, we are ready to go back bullish. We probably ain't coming all the way back down here. The first thing to look for is this structure most recently broken on a daily time frame, which was right over here. And as we can see, once we zoom in, price action has already tapped into that area right over here when you extend that to the right-hand side. So what we're looking for when the market opens on tomorrow is, do we first break above this 15-minute resistance? If we do, then potentially we are ready to resume back bullish from that daily time frame trend, and we can look for continuation buys. The one thing that's kind of going against that right now for me is we broke through hourly support close through. So this could be the break and now the retest for a continuation shorts to potentially come back down into this 4 hour support. So if we do continue to go bearish at the beginning of the week, the second place I'm looking for price action to react from to potentially get the funnel with them keys and go back bullish is this 4 hour structure that was most recently broken on the 4 hour time frame right over here. So that could be another area price action could react from and then get back bullish. And then if not, if we do end up coming all the way back down here, looking to the demand area, which would be probably right up in here for me, looking price action, get the fun with them keys, and then get back bullish up in there. If either of those three scenarios don't take place, then we probably gonna continue to go bearish. But with the uh big ass um US dollar strength that's been taking place lately, I don't know that we are going to continue to go bearish. I think what we in right now is kind of retracement phase. And we're just looking to wait to see where price action is going to build that support to potentially give us the gas to go back bullish. So looking at the notes, daily bullish, 4H bullish, 1H bearish. Daily hasn't created resistance. 1H support broken with Friday's price action until 15-minute resistance gets broken right over here in the red. Could see bearish price action down to a 4 hour structure most recently broken, which is right over here. Structure most recently broken, or even deeper back into 4 hour support, which would be down here into this demand zone, this second trade idea we got right here. Daily structure most recently broken has been retested, but did not cause a shift in structure back in line with the daily trend as far as being bullish. So got a couple things to wait out for on UJ as far as once the market opens. And once we see what we need to see, where price action is going, where we need to go, then we probably gonna get in and get active. But until that point, we just gonna sit back and watch. Cause like I said, it's been rough. August has not been good to me at all, except for on Thursday and Friday. Yesterday and the day before that, we did get active and we did capture some pippage. That's UJ. Clicking over to UCAD. UCAD is continuing that USD strength, which I really didn't expect because how all other um XXX USD pairs got up to the top side and immediately came back and broke structure to the downside. But if you go back to weekend analysis from sometime in July, I did point out how, like I said, when price action got down here, if it kind of got squirrely on you, then that's probably because of how we were high, low, lower, high, lower, lower and things, grabbing liquidity here. If we got down here and got squirrely, start to not continue that lower, low, lower, high format, then we probably going back bullish. And that was probably at the end of the beginning of July when I dropped that video and said and pointed that information out. And since that time, we have been going big bullish. So based off a daily time frame, we're identifying that daily low right down here. As price action came back. Yeah, I was expecting another short off into the lows. But looks like we just tapped into the demand zone looking left, and now we're pushing back bullish. What I do see just by looking at how big these candles are to how small they're starting to get is kind of like exhaustion in price action. So could definitely be expecting a retracement to start the week next week, but just because we expecting it don't mean it's going to happen. So we just have to sit back and wait and see if that price action actually plays out that way. But we got that daily support slash demand area right down here. We got the little 4-hour support right up in here. Bump down to the 4-hourly time frame. Because there hasn't been any breaks of structure within this price action on the hourly time frame, we do not have that 4-hourly resistance created just yet. So this definitely could continue to be choppy and continue to go and break highs, and then ultimate swing level high. Ooh, would that equal this got a double top there, so definitely a lot of liquidity resting right up her. Definitely got resting liquidity sitting right up there. So we could just chop around. I haven't looked at the news to see what's going on, but we could just chop around and just sneak on up there and grab that liquidity and then offer that higher time frame retracement to set us up to take continuation buys back to the top side. But just looking at current price action right now, we are bullish for our time frame, daily time frame. We do have that 1-hour range identified from the low to the high. On a 15-minute time frame, we have not broken through 15-minute support. So this could just keep open up tomorrow bullish, break above, offer the retracement, and then we could take continuation buys. The thing I would look for potentially to start trying to frame shorts as we high, low, higher, high, higher, low, right up in her. I would need to see price action close below this little 15-minute support right here to then try to say, okay, well, if we want to take a little intraday short, we want to see price action close below, retest, and then ultimately try to take profits as we come into this 1-hour support, because from this 1-hour support, we could get the funnel with them keys and get back up out of there to the top side. We also could definitely break right through the support, retest, and then come back deeper within this 4-hour range down into demand slash support area looking left. So yeah, could just be looking for continuation buys on this. If we start to break lower time frame structure, could take intraday shorts back into supportive levels looking left. Outside of that, it's just sit back and wait type of moment on UCAD. I did take a short on UCAD last week. Only took one because price action opened up, or yeah, we opened up here. What I saw was higher low, higher high, came back down, higher low, we pushed up, and then we had this drastic um shift in structure right over here, taking out these lows. Um, yeah, on a 15-minute time frame. So what I did was wait for price action to pull back here, tapping into imbalance. I kind of identified on a 15-minute. I had a sale limit from right there. It did push in the profit a little bit. Is that my position? Yeah, it did push in the profit a little bit, but ultimately you can see we got smoked um as it continued to the top side. So didn't take any more trades. That USD strength was apparent at that point. So I was like, the way this is very, very choppy. I don't like the zones. I don't like the structure. So I'm gonna just walk away. So UCAD is one of those currencies that I sit back and play the long perspective from. I like to see it move. I don't like to try to get into at least Tuesday or Wednesday, whereas AU or UJ, I'll hop in on Sunday or Monday. But when it comes to UCAD, I'm waiting because I need to see what really going on, because UCAD moves very, very differently, very weird like type action. And yeah, if it ain't there, you will get your ass cooked. So sitting back and waiting on UCAD, two possible scenarios once the market opens, break, retest, come back down in here, break above, pull back to somewhere, create that support, and then get up out of there to the top side. So that's UCAD. Clicking over to GU. GU is not doing too much anything. We're pretty much consolidating. Start from that weekly time frame, refresh them charts, go ahead and blank everything. What we can see is from the weekly time frame, we are big, big, big bullish, pushing up, creating higher highs and higher lows. Bump down to that daily time frame. Still creating higher highs and higher lows right up in here. The previous higher low right here on this daily time frame that created this highs right down here. So that's why we are identifying bullish. This low to this high, price action pushed up, pulled back. Now the thing to notice is right here we have tapped into the demand zone that created this high. So we do not see any breaks of structure just yet. So for me, just like the other pairs we kind of identified, we should be sitting back and waiting to see if price action really is going to give us what we need to get. Are we identifying from down here? This is daily time, and this should be the. Must have saw something different some other time. High, low, high, high, definitely. High, low, high, high. I think it's because there was no break of structure here. That's why we got to identify it that way. So pretty much still the same thing, just bigger ranges. Daily low to the daily high, 4 hour support. Come down here. Um, yeah, tapping into 4 hour demand now. Still didn't give us the shift of structure just yet, and we created equal lows, which tells me that price action is probably going to be more attracted to come this way before going back this way. So definitely we'll be looking for price action to swoop this little liquidity right here. We could come down and wick through this 4 hour support level and then get the pump with them keys and get back up out of there. But GU is not one of my main squeezes, so that would be something I'll just sit back and look for and see if it happens that way. If it does develop and come down and liquidate these two levels, is hourly support and 4 hour support, then potentially once it reacts from that level, I'll try to formulate some buys. But until that point, what we could see definitely is price action swoop through that level, capture all this liquidity right up under here, come back and retest, and then come back deeper within this daily support area slash demand looking left. So not too confident in taking continuation buys on GU just because I see a lot of stuff on the lower time frames that is kind of signaling right now that alert button is going off and my brain saying that this shit probably gonna continue to go bearish. So we gonna see. But ultimately bullish on the daily, bullish on the 4 hour still until we break through about 1.29920 and currently bearish on the hourly. So we definitely want to see that hourly time frame shift to bullish before we really try to put any heavy pocket trades on bullish scenario. So let's see what that 4 hour look like. Yeah, so we pretty much just consolidating within this 1 hour range. High to the low, potential lower high right up in her. Came down, did break through this little support right here. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna come out and go big bullish on GU. I could be wrong, but with this these equal lows right up in here, you just see that come get me sitting up right up in there. Yeah, we definitely could leap to the downside. And like I said, I did not check the news just yet, so it could be something at the beginning of the week. Some news to pop off, cause a big ass impulsive candle to shoot down to this downside, causing price action to continue to go bearish on GU. But higher time frames are pointing towards the bullish. We just haven't lined up just yet on the lower time frames to signal that we are ready to resume back bullish. So definitely sit back and wait on GU, grab your popcorn and watch that thing play out. Clicking over to GJ. GJ, I don't like the structures on GJ. For the most part, I'm tracking based off of the 4 hourly. We got the 4 hour low to the 4 hour high. When you bump out to the higher time frames, just trying to identify structure as far as key levels that price action has created from the past. Yeah, it just, high to the low, potentially higher high, higher low here or there, whichever one you prefer. Me, I kind of like this is the higher low to the higher high, but this is a huge ass range. You bump down to the daily. If this was the higher low, this is daily range from this high to this low. Structure was broken right over here. So now potentially we have a new daily higher low to the new higher highs. And I think that's how I have it identified is daily higher low to the new higher high that hasn't been, or the new resistance from the daily time frame that hasn't been created just yet. So daily low, resistance on the daily time frame has not been created just yet. So that's why I say I was tracking based off of the 4 hour. Higher low, create a new higher high. When you get down to start coming into that hourly time frame, the most recent or most previous 1 hour support being right up in here. When you bump down to the hourly time frame, you can see a lot better. That's price action, higher highs, higher lows. We got the high, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high, new lower low. So you do have a breaker structure right over here. So that is how we identify that hourly support. Because once we broke there, we immediately pushed to the top side, creating new higher highs, and then price action pulled back and then broke through that demand slash support area there. So ultimately expecting the same type of deal, either consolidation or a short off on UJ at the beginning of the week. Now, like I said, could be wrong, but just looking at the lower time frames aren't indicating that they are ready to stay in line with the higher time frames just yet. So what I'm expecting on you or GJ is what I want to see is price action come back if we're gonna go bearish to maintain below this little blue line we got identified here, and then get the funnel with them keys, show us something pretty, and then potentially take a short back into 4 hour support slash demand area. But we gonna see. That's GJ. I don't think I analyzed gold just yet. That thing just been leaking. Yeah, that USD, that dollar strength, is a good indicator. Is why gold is going bearish. First thing I notice is the imbalance down to the downside, right down here on the daily time frame. So that could be an area as to where gold is seeking to come down to and potentially build up, consolidate in that area, and then potentially strike back bullish. So you got imbalances. The first thing we identify, we see as far as structure, big bullish, breaker structure from the high to the low, to the lower high, lower low, equal highs, lower low, lower high. Could say lower low, lower high, lower low. Come back, lower high, failed to create. New higher high, high low, higher high. As we go to the left, high to the low, failed to create, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then just lower low. So for me, that daily resistance be somewhere like right up her. Daily zone, bullish continuation. We haven't had any break structure down here, so that resistance hasn't been formed or created just yet. And that could be our second confluence is to say, okay, well, price action is going to come down and try to fill that imbalance. When we look at it from a 4 hourly standpoint, potentially this could be our 4 hour resistance. Go down to the 4 hour time frame and confirm that. See here. Mm, yeah. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. We had a high to the low, high, high. So yeah, we could potentially identify this little area right over here as that 4 hour resistance. So then you could say potentially continuation buys above this level. It should be breaking retest trades. Let's look at this hourly structure here. If we say high, did I break? Yep, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So then the hourly range is now from here to here, and price action is just currently consolidating within that zone. What our support? My bad. That hourly resistance. And then we bump down to the hourly and finish identifying. All right, so we got that weekly open right here. We got that London open right here. So this will be the analysis up into Monday morning's London session. These will be the zones that will be intact until somebody get broke. As we look at it from a 15-minute perspective, we're high, low, low, high. Yeah, so the 15-minute is basically within. So like I said, I really don't like drawing in 15-minute levels until I'm ready to actually enter into the market. But on a weekend analysis. We'll sometimes draw them in just to see which side breaks first, kind of help build that confidence and say, okay, we break this supportive level on the 15-minute, and we come back into the hourly. We break the hourly, then we come back down. We ain't created that 4 hourly just yet. So yeah, so basically gold bearish all time frames. I don't see a single time frame that's pointing to bullish or indicating that we should be looking for buys on gold. So definitely would be probably, let's see, yeah, they actually tapped and it did cause a break of structure. So um eyes would then come back within this price section here to say where would we potentially pull back to before continue to go bearish. And I really don't see too much, just a whole bunch of chop right up in here. So when price action sets up with these multiple small candles, it's best to sit back and wait versus trying to guess on the zone. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. But we draw in some ifs. If we break above here, we wait for a retracement, then try to take the buys back into here, which would be that hourly resistance, would be the first DP. If we happen to break through, then we look our eyes immediately shift to the 4 hour resistance. That'd be the bullish scenario. If we happen to come down and break through both of these, wait for it to retrace, then we're looking for continuation shorts all the way back down to that imbalance field and even further. Yeah, because we don't have that Bailey or 4 hour level identified just yet. So that's what it is. That's how it's looking. Like I said, real unsure, uncertain times right now when it comes to trading, just because the market is, oh my gosh, it's giving out setups, but it ain't setting up the way you know we normally like to see it set up. Uh, yeah, it's just been continuing with that dollar strength that just jumped into the market. All of the XXX USD pairs that I thought was going to continue to go bullish have leaked off and now started going bearish. So that's pretty much all I got for this one. Let's see how the news look. Maybe we might have some more indication on it. So what we think will happen to that calendar here, folks. So just around that week. Let's see. Okay, on it. Tomorrow is the 20th to the 26th. Let's see what we got. So we got some red folder news. Sunday night. CNY. I don't know what that is. CNY, red folder news. And then we don't have red folder news again all the way down to Wednesday. Euro has flash manufacturing PMI, GBP, same as well. USD on Wednesday, the same. Unemployment claims for USD on Thursday. German info business climate on Friday for the euro. And then federal chair Howe speaks on Friday as well. So a couple red folder spouts throughout the week. Wednesday being the biggest one for the euro, GBP, and the USD. So we could see some drastic movement there. But for the most part, these yellow folder and orange folder news kind of indicates to me that price action is just going to be trending in the manner that it's already in. So when we go back and you look at the news and you say, okay, the news media releases kind of indicate that price action is just going to be trending in the trend that it's already in. Most of these are bearish unless it's USD XXX something, which is currently bullish. So put all that together and find you a good trade scenario. Outside of that, that's all I got for this one. I'm gonna buy that thing. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. I'm out.